Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read 1 Kings 16 to 20, Psalm 120, and Proverbs 2. Let's get started. 1 Kings 16 to 20. The Lord's message about Baasha came to Jehu, the son of Hanani. Here's what the Lord said about Baasha. I lifted you up from the dust and appointed you king over my people Israel. But you lived the way Jeroboam had lived. You also caused my people Israel to sin, and their sins made me very angry. So I am about to destroy you, Baasha, and your royal house. And I'll make your house like the royal house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. Some of the people who belong to them will die in the city. Dogs will eat them up. Others will die in the country. The birds will eat them. The other events of Baasha are written down. What he did and what he accomplished are written in the official record of the kings of Israel. Baasha joined the members of his family who had already died. He was buried in Tirzah. Baasha's son Elah became the next king after him. The Lord's message came through the prophet Jehu, the son of Hanani. It was against Baasha and his royal house. Baasha had done all kinds of evil things in the sight of the Lord. Baasha had also destroyed the royal house of Jeroboam. What Baasha did had made the Lord very angry. So Baasha had become as sinful as the royal house of Jeroboam had been. Elah became king of Israel. It was in the 26th year that Asa was king of Judah. Elah ruled in Tirzah for 2 years. He was the son of Baasha. Zimri was one of Elah's officials. He commanded half of Elah's chariot drivers. He made plans against Elah. Elah was in Tirzah at the time. He was getting drunk in the home of Asa. Asa was in charge of the palace at Tirzah. Zimri came in. He struck Elah down and killed him. It was in the 27th year of Asa, the king of Judah. Zimri became the next king after Elah. As soon as Zimri was seated on the throne of king, he killed off Baasha's whole family. He didn't even spare one male. It didn't matter whether it was a relative or a friend. So Zimri destroyed the whole family of Baasha. That's what the Lord had said would happen. He had spoken against Baasha through Jehu the prophet. Baasha and his son Elah had committed all kinds of sin. They also caused Israel to commit the same sins. So Israel made the Lord very angry. They did it by worshipping worthless statues of gods. The Lord is the God of Israel. The other events of Elah's rule are written down. Everything he did is written in the official records of the kings of Israel. Zimri ruled in Tirzah for 7 days. It was in the 27th year that Asa was king of Judah. The army of Israel had set up camp near Gibbethon. It was a Philistine town. The Israelites in the camp heard that Zimri had made plans against King Elah. They also heard that Zimri had murdered him. So they announced that Omri was king over Israel. He was the commander of the army. They made him king that day in the camp. Then Omri and all his men pulled back from Gibbethon. They marched to Tirzah and surrounded it. They attacked it and captured it. Zimri saw that they had taken over the city. So he went into the safest place in the royal palace. He set the palace on fire all around him. He died there because of the sins he had committed. He had done what was evil in the sight of the Lord. He had lived the way Jeroboam had lived. He had committed the same sin Jeroboam had caused Israel to commit. The other events of Zimri's rule are written down. The way he turned against King Elah and killed him is written down. All these things are written in the official records of the kings of Israel. The Israelites divided up into 2 groups. Half of them wanted Tibni to be king. He is the son of Ginath. The other half wanted Omri. But Omri's followers were stronger than those of Tibni, the son of Ginath. So Tibni died, and Omri began to rule. Omri became king of Israel. It was in the 31st year that Asa was king of Judah. Omri ruled for 12 years. He ruled in Tirzah for 6 of those years. He built the hill of Samaria from Shema. He weighed out 150 pounds of silver for it. Then he built a city on the hill. He called it Samaria. He named it after Shema. Shema had owned the hill before, but Omri did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. He sinned more than all the kings who had ruled before him. He lived the way Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, had lived. He committed the same sin Jeroboam had caused Israel to commit. Israel made the Lord very angry. They did it by worshipping worthless statues of gods. The Lord is the God of Israel. The other events of Omri's rule are written down. Everything he did and the things he accomplished are written in the official records of the kings of Israel. Omri joined the members of his family who had already died. He was buried in Samaria. Omri's son Ahab became the next king after him. Ahab became king of Israel. It was in the 30th year that Asa was king of Judah. Ahab ruled over Israel in Samaria for 22 years. He was the son of Omri. Asa, the son of Omri, did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. He did more evil things than any of the kings who had ruled before him. He thought it was only a small thing to commit the sins Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, had committed. Ahab also married Jezebel. She was Ethbaal's daughter. Ethbaal was king of the people of Sidon. Ahab began to serve the god named Baal and worshipped him. He set up an altar to honor Baal. He set it up in the temple of Baal that he built in Samaria. Ahab also made a pole used to worship the female god named Asherah. He made the Lord very angry. Ahab did more to make him angry than all the kings of Israel had done before him. The Lord is the God of Israel. In Ahab's time, he from Bethel rebuilt Jericho. When he laid its foundations, it cost him the life of his oldest son, Abiriam. When he set up its gates, it cost him the life of his youngest son, Segub. That's what the Lord had said would happen. He had spoken it through Joshua, the son of Nun. Chapter 17. Elijah was from Tishba in the land of Gilead. He said to Ahab, I serve the Lord. He's the God of Israel. You can be sure that he lives, and you can be just as sure that there won't be any dew or rain on the whole land. There won't be any during the next few years. It won't come until I say so. Then a message came to Elijah from the Lord. He said, Leave this place. Go east and hide in the Kerith Valley. It is east of the Jordan River. You will drink water from the brook. I have directed some ravens to supply you with food there. So Elijah did what the Lord had told him to do. He went to the Kerith Valley. It was east of the Jordan River. He stayed there. The ravens brought him bread and meat in the morning. They also brought him bread and meat in the evening. He drank water from the brook. Sometime later, the brook dried up. It hadn't rained in the land for quite a while. A message came to Elijah from the Lord. He said, Go right away to Zarephath in the region of Sidon. Stay there. I have directed a widow there to supply you with food. So Elijah went to Zarephath. He came to the town gate. A widow was there gathering sticks. He called out to her. He asked, Would you bring me a little water in a jar? I need drink. She went to get the water. Then he called out to her, Please bring me a piece of bread too. I don't have any bread, she replied, and that's just as sure as the Lord your God is alive. All I have is a small amount of flour in a jar and a little olive oil in a jug. I'm gathering a few sticks to take home. We'll make one last meal for myself and my son. We'll eat it. After that, we'll die. Elijah said to her, Don't be afraid. Go home. Do what you have said. But first make a small loaf of bread for me. Make it out of what you have. Bring it to me. Then make some for yourself and your son. The Lord is the God of Israel. He says, The jar of flour will not be used up. The jug will always have oil in it. You will have flour and oil until the day the Lord sends rain on the land. She went away and did what Elijah had told her to do. So Elijah had food every day. There was also food for the woman and her family. The jar of flour wasn't used up. The jug always had oil in it. That's what the Lord had said would happen. He had spoken that message through Elijah. Sometime later, the son of the woman who owned the house became sick. He got worse and worse. Finally, he stopped breathing. The woman said to Elijah, "You are a man of God. What do you have against me? Did you come to bring my sin out into the open? Did you come to kill my son?" "Give me your son," Elijah replied. He took him from her arms. He carried him to the upstairs room where he was staying. He put him down on his bed. Then Elijah cried out to the Lord. He said, "Lord my God, I'm staying with this widow. Have you brought pain and sorrow even to her? Have you caused her son to die?" Then he lay down on the boy 3 times. He cried out to the Lord. He said, "Lord my God, give this boy's life back to him." The Lord answered Elijah's prayer. He gave the boy's life back to him. So the boy lived. Elijah picked up the boy. He carried him down from the upstairs room into the house. He gave him to his mother. He said, "Look, your son is alive." Then the woman said to Elijah, "Now I know that you are a man of God. I know that the message you have brought from the Lord is true." Chapter 18. It was now 3 years since it had rained. A message came to Elijah from the Lord. He said, "Go, speak to Ahab. Then I will send rain on the land." So Elijah went to speak to Ahab. There wasn't enough food in Samaria. The people there were very hungry. Ahab had sent for Obadiah. He was in charge of Ahab's palace. Obadiah had great respect for the Lord. Ahab's wife Jezebel had been killing off the Lord's prophets. So Obadiah had hidden 100 prophets in 2 caves. He had put 50 in each cave. He had supplied them with food and water. Ahab had said to Obadiah, "Go to the land. Go to all the valleys and springs of water. Maybe we can find some grass there. It will keep the horses and mules alive. Then we won't have to kill any of our animals." So they decided where each of them would look. Ahab went in one direction. Obadiah went in another. As Obadiah was walking along, Elijah met him. Obadiah recognized him. He bowed down to the ground. He said, "My master Elijah, is it really you?" "Yes," he replied. "Go and tell your master Ahab, Elijah is here." "What have I done wrong?" asked Obadiah. "Why are you handing me over to Ahab to put to death?" "My master has sent people to look for you everywhere. There isn't a nation or kingdom where he hasn't sent someone to look for you. Suppose the nation or kingdom would claim you weren't there. Then Ahab would make them give their word that they can find you. And that's just as sure as the Lord your God is alive. But now you are telling me to go to my master. You want me to say, 'Elijah is here.' But the Spirit of the Lord might carry you away when I leave you. Then I won't know where you are. If I go and tell Ahab and he doesn't find you, he'll kill me. But I've worshipped the Lord ever since I was young. My master, haven't you heard what I did? Jezebel was killing the Lord's prophets. But I hid 100 of them in 2 caves. I put 50 in each cave. I supplied them with food and water. And now you are telling me to go to my master Ahab. You want me to say to him, 'Elijah is here. Ahab will kill me.'" Elijah said, "I serve the Lord who rules over all. You can be sure that he lives. And you can be just as sure that I will speak to Ahab today." Obadiah went back to Ahab. He told Ahab that Elijah wanted to see him. So Ahab went to where Elijah was. When he saw Elijah, he said to him, "Is that you? You're always stirring up trouble in Israel." "I haven't made trouble for Israel," Elijah replied. "But you and your father's family have. You have turned away from the Lord's commands. You have followed gods that are named Baal. Now send for people from all over Israel. Tell them to meet me on Mount Carmel. And bring the 450 prophets of the god named Baal. Also bring the 400 prophets of the female god named Asherah. All of them eat at Jezebel's table." So Ahab sent that message all through Israel. He gathered the prophets together on Mount Carmel. Elijah went there and stood in front of the people. He said, "How long will it take you to make up your minds? If the Lord is the one and only God, worship him. But if Baal is the one and only God, worship him." The people didn't say anything. Then Elijah said to them, "I'm the only one of the Lord's prophets left, but Baal has 450 prophets. Get 2 bulls for us. Let Baal's prophets choose one for themselves. Let them cut it into pieces. Then let them put it on the wood, but don't let them set fire to it. I'll prepare the other bull. I'll put it on the wood, but I won't set fire to it. Then you pray to your God. I'll pray to the Lord. The God who answers by sending fire down is the one and only God." Then all the people said, "What you are saying is good." Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, "Choose one of the bulls. There are many of you, so prepare your bull first. Pray to your God, but don't light the fire." So they prepared the bull they had been given. They prayed to Baal from morning until noon. "Baal, answer us," they shouted. But there wasn't any reply. No one answered. Then they danced around the altar they had made. At noon, Elijah began to tease them. "Shout louder," he said. "I'm sure Baal is a god. Perhaps he has too much to think about. Or maybe he has gone to the toilet. Or perhaps he's away on a trip. Maybe he's sleeping. Might have to wake him up." So they shouted louder. They cut themselves with swords and spears until their blood flowed. That's what they usually did when things really looked hopeless. It was now past noon. The prophets of Baal continued to prophesy with all their might. They did it until the time came to offer the evening sacrifice. But there wasn't any reply. So no one answered. No one paid any attention. Then Elijah said to all the people, "Come here to me." So they went to him. He built the altar of the Lord. It had been torn down. Elijah got 12 stones. There was one for each tribe in the family line of Jacob. The Lord's message had come to Jacob. It had said, "Your name will be Israel." Israel used the stones to build an altar to honor the Lord. He dug a ditch around it. The ditch was large enough to hold 24 pounds of seeds. He arranged the wood for the fire. He cut the board to pieces. He placed the pieces on the wood. Then he said to some of the people, "Fill 4 large jars with water. Pour it on the offering and the wood." So they did. "Do it again," he said. So they did it again. "Do it a 3rd time," he ordered. And they did the 3rd time. The water ran down the altar. It even filled the ditch. And then it was time to offer the evening sacrifice. The prophet Elijah stepped forward. He prayed, "Lord, you are the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. Today let everyone know that you are God in Israel. Let them know I am your servant. Let them know how I've done all these things because you commanded me to. Answer me, Lord, answer me. Then these people will know that you are the one and only God. They will know that you are turning their hearts back to you again." The fire of the Lord came down. It burned up the sacrifice. It burned up the wood and the stones and the soil. It even dried up the water in the ditch. All the people saw it. Then they fell down flat with their faces toward the ground. They cried out, "The Lord is the one and only God. The Lord is the one and only God." Then Elijah commanded them, "Grab the prophets of Baal. Don't let a single one of them get away." So they grabbed them. Elijah had them brought down to the Kishon Valley. There he had them put to death. Elijah said to Ahab, "Go, eat and drink. I can hear the sound of a heavy rain." So Ahab went off to eat and drink. But Elijah climbed to the top of Mount Carmel. He bent down toward the ground. Then he put his face between his knees. "Go and look toward the sea," he told his servant. So he went up and looked. "I didn't see anything there," he said. 7 times Elijah said, "Go back." The 7th time, the servant said, "I see a cloud." It's as small as a man's hand. It's coming up over the sea. Elijah said to him, Go to Ahab. Tell him, tie your chariot to your horse. Go down to Jezreel before the rain stops you. Black clouds filled the sky. The wind came up, and heavy rain began to fall. Ahab rode off to Jezreel. The power of the Lord came on Elijah. He tucked his coat into his belt, and he ran ahead of Ahab all the way to Jezreel. Ahab told Jezebel everything Elijah had done. He told her how Elijah had killed all the prophets of Baal with his sword. So Jezebel sent a message to Elijah. She said, You can be sure that I will kill you, just as I killed the other prophets. I'll do it by this time tomorrow. If I don't, may the gods punish me greatly. Elijah was afraid, so he ran for his life. He came to Beersheba in Judah. He left his servant there. Then he traveled for one day into the desert. He traveled to a small bush. He sat down under it. He prayed that he would die. Lord, I've had enough, he said. Take my life. I'm no better than my people of long ago. Then he lay down under the bush, and he fell asleep. Suddenly an angel touched him. The angel said, Get up and eat. Elijah looked around. In his bed, he saw some bread. It had been baked over hot coals. A jar of water was also there. So Elijah ate and drank. Then he lay down again. This angel of the Lord came to him a second time. He touched him and said, Get up and eat. The journey will be long and hard. So he got up. He ate and drank. The food gave him new strength. He traveled for 40 days and 40 nights. He kept going until he arrived at Horeb. It was the mountain of God. There he went into a cave and spent the night. A message came to Elijah from the Lord. He said, Elijah, what are you doing here? He replied, Lord God who rules over all, I've been very committed to you. The Israelites have turned their backs on your covenant. They have torn down your altars. They have put your prophets to death with their swords. I'm the only one left, and they are trying to kill me. The Lord said, Go out, stand on the mountain in front of me. I am going to pass by. As the Lord approached, a very powerful wind tore the mountains apart. It broke up the rocks, but the Lord wasn't in the wind. After the wind, there was an earthquake, but the Lord wasn't in the earthquake. After the earthquake, a fire came, but the Lord wasn't in the fire. And after the fire, there was only a gentle whisper. When Elijah heard it, he pulled his coat over his face. He went out and stood at the entrance to the cave. Then a voice said to him, Elijah, what are you doing here? He replied, Lord God who rules over all, I've been very committed to you. The Israelites have turned their backs on your covenant. They have torn down your altars. They have put your prophets to death with their swords. I'm the only one left, and they are trying to kill me. The Lord said to him, Go back the way you came. Go to the desert of Damascus. When you get there, anoint Hazael as king over Aram. Also anoint Jehu as king over Israel. He is the son of Nimshi. And anoint Elisha from Abel Meholah as the next prophet after you. He is the son of Shaphat. Jehu will put to death anyone who escapes Hazael's sword, and Elisha will put to death anyone who escapes Jehu's sword. But I will keep 7,000 people in Israel for myself. They have not bowed down to Baal, and they have not kissed him. Elijah left Mount Horeb. He saw Elisha, the son of Shaphat. Elisha was plowing in a field. He was driving the last of 12 pairs of oxen. Elijah went up to him. He threw his coat around him. Then Elisha left his oxen. He ran after Elijah. Let me kiss my father and mother goodbye. Then I'll come with you. Go back, Elijah replied. What have I done to you? So Elisha left him and went back. He got his 2 oxen and killed them. He burned the blood to cook the meat. He gave it to the people, and they ate it. Then he started to follow Elijah. He became Elijah's servant. Chapter 20. Ben-Hadad brought his whole army together. He was king of Aram. He went up to Samaria. He took 32 kings and their horses and chariots with him. All of them surrounded Samaria and attacked it. Ben-Hadad sent messengers into the city. They spoke to Ahab, the king of Israel. They told him, Ben-Hadad says, your silver and gold belong to me. The best of your wives and children also belong to me. The king of Israel replied, what you say is true. You are my king and master. I belong to you, and everything I have belongs to you. The messengers came again. They told Ahab, Ben-Hadad says, I commanded you to give your silver and gold. I also commanded you to give me your wives and children. But now I'm going to send my officials to you. They will come about this time tomorrow. They will search your palace. They will search the houses of your officials. They will take everything you value, and they'll carry it all away. The king of Israel sent for all the elders of the land. He said to them, this man is really looking for trouble. He sent them for my wives and children. He sent for my silver and gold, and I agreed to give them to him. All the elders and people didn't listen to him. Don't agree to give him what he wants. So Ahab replied to Ben-Hadad's messengers. He said, tell my king and master, I will do everything you commanded me to do the first time, but this time I can't do what you want me to do. They took Ahab's answer back to Ben-Hadad. Then Ben-Hadad sent another message to Ahab. Ben-Hadad said, there won't be enough dust left in Samaria to give each of my followers even a handful. If there is, may the gods punish me greatly. The king of Israel replied. He said, tell him, someone who puts on shouldn't brag like someone who takes it off. Ben-Hadad and the king were in the tent drinking. That's when he heard the message. He ordered his men. So they prepared to attack the city. During that time, a prophet came to Ahab, the king of Israel. He announced, the Lord says, do you see this huge army? I'll hand it over to you today. Then you'll know that I am the Lord. But who will do it? Ahab asked. The prophet answered, the Lord says, the junior officers who are under the area commanders will do it. And who will start the battle? Ahab asked. The prophet answered, you will. So Ahab sent for the junior officers who were under the area commanders. The total number of officers was 232. Ahab gathered together the rest of the Israelites. The total number of them was 7,000. They started out at noon. At that time, Ben-Hadad and the 32 kings helping him were in the tents. They were getting drunk. The junior officers who were under Ahab's area commanders marched out first. Ben-Hadad had sent out scouts. They came back and reported, men are marching against us from Samaria. Ben-Hadad said, they might be coming to make peace. If they are, take them alive. Or they might be coming to make the war. If they are, take them alive. The junior officers marched out of the city. The army was right behind them. Each man struck down the one fighting against them. When that happened, the army of Aram ran away. The Israelites chased them. But Ben-Hadad, the king of Aram, escaped on a horse. Some of his horsemen escaped with him. When the king of Israel attacked them, he overpowered the horses and chariots. Large numbers of the men of Aram were wounded or killed. After that, the prophet came to the king of Israel again. The prophet said, make your position stronger. Do what needs to be done. Next spring, the king of Aram will attack you again. During that time, The officials of the king of Aram gave him advice. They said, "The gods of Israel are gods of the hills. That's why they are too strong for us. But suppose we fight them on the plain. Then we'll certainly be stronger than they are. Here's what you should do. Don't let any of the kings continue as mighty leaders. Have other officials take their places. You must also put an army together. It should be just like the one you lost. It should have the same number of horses and chariots. Then we'll be able to fight against Israel on the plains, and we'll certainly be stronger than they are." Ben-Hadad agreed with their advice. He did what they suggested. The next spring, Ben-Hadad brought together the men of Aram. He went up to the city of Aphek to fight against Israel. The Israelites were also brought together. They were given supplies. They marched out to fight against their enemies. Israel's army camped across from Aram's army. The Israelites looked like two small flocks of goats that had become separated from the others. But the men of Aram conquered the countryside. The man of God came up to the king of Israel again. He told him, "The Lord says, the men of Aram think the Lord is the God of the hills. They do not think he is the God of the valleys. So I, the Lord, will hand their huge army over to you. Then you will know that I am the Lord." For 7 days, the two armies camped across from each other. On the 7th day, the battle began. The Israelites wounded or killed 100,000 Aramean soldiers who were on foot. That happened in a single day. The rest of the men of Aram escaped to the city of Aphek. Its wall fell down on 27,000 of them. Ben-Hadad ran to the city. He heard in the secret room. "Look." His officials said to him, "Look, we've heard that the kings of Israel often show mercy. So let's go to the king of Israel. Let's wither what clothing people wear when they're sad. Let's tie ropes around our heads. Perhaps Ahab will spare your life." So they wore rough clothing. They tied ropes around their heads. Then they went to the king of Israel. They told him, "Your servant Ben-Hadad says, please let me live." The king answered, "Is he still alive? He used to be my friend." The men thought that was good news, so they quickly used the word Ahab had used. "Yes, your friend Ben-Hadad," they said. "Go and get him," the king said. Ben-Hadad came out of the secret room. Then Ahab had him get into his chariot. "I will return the cities my father took from your father," Ben-Hadad offered. "You can set up your own market areas in Damascus. That's what my father did You can set up your market areas in Damascus." Sorry guys, but I have to go right now. So I'm very sorry I haven't finished this, but I'll do the next one tomorrow. See ya. Hi guys, I'm back. I missed out on yesterday, so I'm first going to read the parts that I didn't read. Let's get started. That's what my father did in Samaria. Ahab said, "If we sign a peace treaty, I'll set you free." So Ben-Hadad made a treaty with him. Then Ahab let him go. There was a group of people called the group of the prophets. A message from the Lord came to one of their members. He said to his companion, "Strike me down with your weapon." But he wouldn't do it. The prophet said, "You haven't obeyed the Lord. As soon as you leave me, a lion will kill you." The companion went away, and the lion found him and killed him. The prophet found another man. He said, "Please strike me down." So the man struck him down and wounded him. Then the prophet went and stood by the road. He waited for the king to come by. He pulled his headband down over his eyes so no one would recognize him. The king passed by. Then the prophet called out to him. He said, "I went into the middle of the battle. Someone came to me with a prisoner." He said, "Guard this man. Don't let him get away. If he does, you will pay for his life with yours." Or you can pay 75 pounds for silver. While I was busy here and there, the man disappeared. The king of Israel spoke to him. He told him, "What you've just said is what will happen to you." Then the prophet quickly removed the hairband from his eyes. The king of Israel recognized him as one of the prophets. He told the king, "The Lord says, you have set a man free, but I said he should be set apart to the Lord in a special way to be destroyed. So you must pay for his life with yours. You must pay for his people's lives with the lives of your people." The king of Israel was angry. He was in a bad mood. He went back to his palace in Samaria. Proverbs 1. These are the Proverbs of Solomon. Proverbs 2. My son, listen to my words. Store my commands inside you. Let your ears listen to wisdom. Apply your heart to understand it. Call out for the ability to be wise. Cry out for understanding. Look for it as you would look for silver. Search for it as you would search for hidden treasure. Then you will understand how to have respect for the Lord. You will find out how to know God. The Lord gives wisdom. Knowledge and understanding come from his mouth. He stores up success for honest people. He is like a shield to those who live without blame. He guards the path of those who are honest. He watches over the way of his faithful ones. You will understand what is right and honest and fair. You will understand the right way to live. Your heart will become wise. Your mind will delight in knowledge. Good sense will keep you safe. Understanding will guide you. Wisdom will save you from the ways of evil men. It will save you from men who twist their words. Men like that have left the straight path to walk in dark ways. They take delight in doing what is wrong. They take joy in twisting everything around. Their paths are crooked. Their ways are not straight. Wisdom will save you from a woman who commits adultery. It will save you from a sinful woman and tempting words. She has left the man she married when she was young. She has broken the promise she made in front of God. Surely her house leads down to death. Her paths lead to the spirits of the dead. No one who goes to her comes back or reaches the paths of life. You will walk in the ways of good people. You will follow the paths of those who do right. Honest people will live in the land, but those who are without blame will remain in it. But sinners will be cut off from the land. Those who aren't faithful will be torn away from it. Psalm 120. I call out to the Lord when I'm in trouble, and he answers me. Lord, save me from people whose lips tell lies. Save me from people whose tongues don't tell the truth. What will the Lord do to you, you lying tongue? And what more will he do? He'll punish you with the sharp arrows of a soldier. He'll punish you with the burning coals from a desert bush. How terrible it is for me to live in the tents of the people of Meshach. How terrible to live in the tents of the people of Kedar. I have lived too long among those who hate peace. I want peace, but when I speak, they want war. Now that I've finished the parts that I missed yesterday,